Estas cremese azantes. Welcome, video lovers. Welcome to TacNerd 1.0. Fellow humans, it's official. Phoenix Arms, the company behind the budget-friendly HP-22 and HP-25 pocket pistols, has shut down for good. Now, I'm a little late on this. Apparently, it was as of late 2024 officially, and apparently the doors are closed. Production has stopped, and if you own one of these little rimfire handguns, you're probably wondering, what now? What do I do? So a little history, a little of my own history with these before we get going. And by the way, I'm sorry for the weird lighting. The power is out right now, so we're just using what we have. These are basically something of a ring of fire pistol, and they're sort of, I guess the term is Saturday Night Special, what they were called. But among those, most of those have a reputation for being pretty bad, and they are. This one, however, actually has kind of the reverse reputation. Other than the redundant safeties on it, they actually perform very well. And they've been around for quite a few years now. I've had one for a long time. They're not expensive. They're usually just a little over 150 quatlus or so, maybe sometimes even less than that. And they're generally just either in 22 long rifle or 25 ACP. I wouldn't suggest getting the 25 ACP. I think it's an expensive caliber for not much more or even less power. But nonetheless, we're going to explore a little bit and see if we can find out what happened. But a lot of people do own these, and they're probably wondering what they can do now to get parts and service and such like that. So we'll break down what happened, why it matters, and what the future looks like for these once very common pistols. So first, just a quick recap. Phoenix Arms started around 1992, built by remnants of another company, which is Raven Arms, after a factory fire took them out. The HP-22 was always meant to be a simple, cheap, functional, chambered in 22 long rifle with just a simple blowback design. Became a staple of folks who just wanted something in their glove box, tackle box, just a pocket pistol, dog walking gun, whatever. But they were not without controversy. First off, the safety levers and the quirky design. Critics called them Saturday Night Specials, as I said, which is a term that comes loaded, often targeting them as inexpensive and easily to conceal. Unfortunately, that reputation stuck, and combined with California's strict firearm laws, Phoenix Arms was always skating on pretty thin ice. In fact, legal battles with them go all the way back to the late 90s, not too many years after they started, when Phoenix was caught up in lawsuits over gun distribution. Combine that with tightening regulations in their home state, and the writing was on the wall. So, what next? What does this mean for owners of this little HP-22? Well, first, it means no more guns. That's it. Whatever's out there of these, and now there are quite a few, whatever of these are out there, that's it. Phoenix Arms isn't selling complete pistols or frames anymore. Good news is parts are still out there. The official part company for them, it is called Garrettson Industries. And I'm not providing that name to promote any sales or anything on my channel. We don't do that here. I am simply providing the name for upkeep and regular maintenance of your pistol. If you need parts, that is where you get them. Now, there are probably other companies out there. Some of these parts companies, some of these closeout companies, they probably have parts as well. So you can take a look for those. But things you're going to need is, obviously magazines, recoil springs, firing pins, you name it. They do currently have them, and we'll go over some stuff in a minute here. As far as any future goes, is there any intellectual property? Well, there is. There are the designs. HP-22's design, tooling, and trademarks. At this point, as far as my research tells me, they have not yet been picked up by anyone. And the thing is, if somebody did buy the rights to Phoenix Arms, they would be facing a pretty tough climb if they stayed in California. Because of the roster system in California, all the different requirements California has, it's going to be really tough for them to survive. I think, in my opinion, the best outlook that we would have is for a already low cost provider, something like maybe PSA or something, would buy the designs and then redistribute them themselves. They would manufacture that design. If you're out there listening, anyone at PSA, please do this. I can't imagine it would cost that much for these designs, and I think you would sell. I think they would sell. It's a very easy pistol to work on also, if you're an aspiring gunsmith or just like to, work on some projects at the kitchen table. They're easy to work on. They are, and again, they're great pistols. There's very little to no recoil. They're actually very accurate, and they're actually quite reliable, believe it or not. You get the right ammo in them and you really won't have any problem. If you have the target barrel, the longer barrel here, even better. In fact, I've said before, I've talked about these little pistols on my channel before, taught my kids with these, with using the target barrel, and we always had great fun with them. And it's great plinking fun. Now they are metal. It's kind of a pot metal. I think it's an aluminum alloy or something. So they are a bit heavy. There's probably lighter stuff out there on the market even for but these little pistols, they aren't that heavy, and they are, as I said, they are quite reliable. So as far as what else, should you sell your HP-22? I would say no. I would say hold on to it. To be quite honest, you're not going to get anything out of it anyways. It's not like these are going to become hugely collectible, even with them off the market now. There's just so many of them out there. And to be quite honest, there's probably very little want for these out there. So I wouldn't bother selling it. I would hold on to it. It's a quirky, it's kind of a budget build, kind of thing. And it is part of the American gun culture, I would say. Are they collectible? I wouldn't go that far, but at the same point, I wouldn't sell it if you have one. So what else? As I said, if you have one of these, and if you want to order some stuff to stay ahead of the game, because I don't know how long parts are going to stay available. I haven't been able to find out from research if Garrett Industries just bought up what was left of Phoenix's parts and they're now selling them. I don't know if they got them in some sort of bankruptcy deal or if they're former members of the company and just selling what's left. So I don't know if they're still going to make these parts. So it probably would behoove a person, if they want something, to get it now. So what would I suggest if you do get anything? Well, I actually went ahead and ordered some things, and I'll tell you what you should get. First off are springs, and these are the recoil springs. They used to sell them for packs of 3. I think they still do. I would definitely get some of these. These are known to wear out in this firearm. They're also a little hard to get in, so people end up losing them a lot when they're reassembling, but they really just go in right there. I'm not going to open it up and show you because YouTube won't like that, but they really just go right in there. And that's essentially the recoil system, is that spring. The other thing is, as I said before, if you do not have the target barrel, I would go ahead and get one of these. It's a very simple change to change out that barrel, and it does give you a little bit more accuracy and a little more fun at the range. And I will tell you, it points very, very nicely. It really does. It really is a pleasure to shoot these pistols. They're very nice. So some real plinking fun. Also got some other springs. These were let me see. This is the firing pin spring. Probably should have got a few extra firing pins while I was at it. And then I also got two new magazines. These are probably going to be pretty hard to find. People on eBay sell these, but at a premium. So if you can get a couple of these, I would probably get those as well. They also do sell one with a little pinky extension. If you want that, you could get that. As far as if you should get another one, that's really up to you. Mine, believe it or not, as you can probably see here and right over here, has a little crack in the frame. Now, if this were anything else other than a 22, I'd be a little concerned, but I am not. There's just not a lot of pressure going through these to really matter. But I tell you, if I found a cheaper one around and it was within the right price range, I might get it. I'll tell you, they really are just so much fun and just so handy to have because, like I said, you can really just stick these right in your pocket, and it's a great dog walking pistol, if you're looking for something like that. So, anyways, folks, that's about all we have for this topic. I know this was kind of a quick one, and it may not interest everyone, but if you have one of these pistols, definitely would be of interest to you. So, I want to thank everyone for watching today. Hit that like button. If you've ever owned a Phoenix Arms pistol or thought about it, drop a comment down below. Let us know how yours runs and if you're thinking of getting any extra parts. Folks, this is TacNerd, and we will catch you next time.
Welcome to TacNerd 1.0. I hope you liked the video, and remember to like, share, subscribe, and let us know what you think by making a comment below.